Good afternoon. Let's start the daily current affair discussion. The first topic is face the climate. This year has seen India record the warmest ever February. Okay. So in the month of February, the temperature in 2023 is the warmest and driest August. Warmest February and driest August since time series temperature and rainfall data became available from 1901. The current year seems on course to set new benchmarks in annals of climate change. Its effects are no longer confined to just damaging the wheat crop weeks away from harvesting or delaying the pace of kharif sowing. Okay, so as an impact of this, it has its own impact on the harvest of wheat. What is climate change? Climate is the long-term weather impact. It's called climate. Weather is a short period, means the daily temperature, rainfall, etc. and the weather over a period of time at a particular place is called its climate. So climate change in temperature and weather pattern are referred to as climate change. Such changes can occur naturally as a result of variations in the sun's activity or massive volcanic eruptions. However, since the 1800s, human activities have been the primary cause of climate change, owing mostly to the use of fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas. Because when fossil fuels like coal, petroleum oil and gas, natural gas, were used after the industrial revolution, so climate impact became more and more prominent. Negative impact on climate became more and more prominent. Effect of climate change: higher average temperatures, long-lasting droughts, more intense wildfires, intense and frequent cyclone and storms are the effect of climate change. What is higher average temperatures? The average temperature increased. Long-lasting drought became prolonged. More intense wildfires. Earlier there were wildfires, but right now wildfires are more intense. Intense and frequent cyclone and storms. Industries: climate change is now being flagged as the single biggest business risk by consumer good firms. Unseasonal showers during the last summer season crimped demand for ice cream and cold beverages as well as sales of air conditioners and refrigerators. Because during the peak period when the cold drinks, ice cream, air conditioner, refrigerators are normally sold, so that rainfall during that period brought a sudden negative impact on their sale. Okay, and the manufacturers, the traders of those items who store them for the market face the biggest obstacle. Environment: melting sea ice, sea level rise, flooding, warm ocean water and marine heat waves. These are the impact on environment. Ice melt, polar ice leading to sea level rise, flooding of the coastal area and the island areas, warm ocean water and marine heat waves affecting the marine ecosystem. Agriculture: less predictable growing seasons. For farmers, coping with the vagaries of this monsoon is a challenge probably as old as agriculture itself. Fine. So farmers are not sure about the prediction of the weather, but development of science led to some weather forecasting with accuracy. But No doubt that help the farmers in carrying on the cultivation. But in the recent past, as the climate change took place, so this became unpredictable again. But climate change is not simply about monsoon failures. Instead, it has to do with fewer rainy days and extended dry spells, interspread with intense precipitation and also extreme temperature deviations. Okay, which have its own impact on agriculture. Impact of non-farm activities as a consequences of it is also affecting non-farm business as bad monsoons basically impacted rural incomes and in turn sales of tractors, two-wheelers and fast-moving consumer goods. Reduced soil health soil has good moisture and mineral content and is teeming with bugs, bacteria, fungi and microbes that in turn contribute to healthy crops. Okay, but climate change, particularly extreme heat and change in the precipitation, can degrade the soil quality because the beneficial microorganisms that make the soil fertile and suitable for agriculture, so they were destroyed. And some other harmful organisms which harm the crops, so they started growing due to the hot and humid climate. So that has its impact on agricultural productivity. Carrying out business activity as per changing situation due to climate change. It is the climate change impact is not only on agriculture but also on the business. The middle summers, short winters and unseasonal rain do much more by creating less manageable uncertainties for companies used to planning production and building stocks based on established demand patterns. Therefore, there is a need to diversify product portfolios to ensure there is always enough of something to sell through the years. If a season turns out good, treat it as a bonus. So, because they are not sure what will be in demand at during which period, because they are not sure about this. Okay, so therefore there is a need to diversify product portfolios to ensure there is always enough of something to sell throughout the year. If a season turns out good, treat it as a bonus. So in case example, suppose so the hot summer continue, so the sale of cold drinks, ice cream, refrigerator, electronics will increase. So it let treat it as a bonus. But also for the same period, keep other products with in the cell. So in case there is change in weather and people there is a fall in demand for them, so the company will not incur that big heavy loss because products are available, other products are available to sell in the market. Framing and implementing the agriculture policy while considering economic growth. It is not farmers and business alone, even economic policymakers need to incorporate climate change into their growth and plan models. There has to be more investment in knowledge about all potential outcomes and probabilities of occurrences with regard to extreme weather events across sectors. Such knowledge generation extending to breeding of temperature, stress tolerant or drought resistant crops, and timely forecasting of large storms and heat waves, essential in a world of both adaptation to and mitigation of climate change. Okay. So, extending to breeding of temperature, stress tolerant, drought specific crops are right now the demand of the time. Timely forecasting of large storms and heat waves, so to protect them is essential in the world of both adaptation to and mitigation of climate changes. So, it is popularly known as climate resilient agricultural practices. Since climate change is not sparing anyone, including the big FMCG, fast moving consumer good players, and adaptation is something that is of more immediate interest, it makes sense to get everyone on board. Let government, industry, meteorologists, agricultural scientists, and disaster management specialists together draw up a national climate adaptation strategy for India. Why? So, this planning is of considerable importance because only through this we can mitigate the impact on of the climate change on agriculture, industry and trading activities. The next topic is press freedom of India. A free press is critical to preserving democracy and promoting honest and responsible government. Recent measures against journalists linked with the online portal NewsClicks, including searches, seizures, and arrests, have raised concern about digital data privacy and press freedom in India. In the middle of the digital revolution, India faces a digital authoritarian threat. At this critical point, India requires both political action and judicial resolve to protect press freedom in the country. What exactly is meant by press freedom? Press freedom is a key principle that permits journalists and media organizations to function freely and without censorship or intervention from the government. It is a fundamental component of free expression and is required in a democratic society. The following major components of press freedom are included: censorship freedom. Journalists and media outlets should be able to publish or broadcast news and information without fear of government censorship. Access to information. A free press must have access to information and sources in order to research and report on public interest issues. Editorial independence. Ensure that news reporting is first fact-based and not affected by other interests. Source protection. Journalists should be able to protect their sources in order to encourage whistleblowers and informants to come forward with information without fear of being exposed or retaliated against. Pluralism and diversity. A free press should represent a wide range of perspectives and beliefs, enabling for open debate and discussion in society. Accountability. The media should hold those in power accountable by investigating and reporting on other actions and decisions. Background in the Constitution. The Constitution makes no mention of press freedom. However, freedom of the press or media refers to the rights granted by the Indian Constitution in Article 19(1)(a) to the freedom of expression, freedom of speech and expression. It encourages independent media and democracy by allowing citizens to express their support or opposition to the government's action. So, freedom, right to freedom of expression. Okay, speech and expression is mentioned on Article 19(1)(a). The right to freedom of thought and expression is contained in Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This right includes the freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of the borders. Article 19(2) on the other hand imposes some constraints in order to defend the nation and its integrity. Status of press freedom in India. World Press Freedom Index ranks countries and regions according to the level of freedom available to journalists. It has been published every year since 2002 by Reporters Without Borders. Each country or territory scores is evaluated using five contextual indicators: political context, legal framework, economic context, sociological, socio-cultural context, and safety. In 2023, India ranked 161st among the 180 countries with a score of 36.62 out of 100. In 2022, India ranked 150. Okay, so from 161, India has improved to 150. Okay, so that means India is improving in its rank. The importance of press freedom for India: democracy and accountability. Journalists investigate and report on government actions, policies, and decisions, holding officials accountable for their actions. Information dissemination. It helps citizens stay informed about current events, government activities, and social issues, enabling them to make informed decisions and participate actively in the democratic process. Check on power. A free press acts as a check on the abuse of power by the government and other powerful entities. Okay, so information dissemination, it helps citizens stay informed about current events, government activities, and societal issues, enabling them to make informed decisions and participate actively in the democratic process. Check on power. A free press acts as a check on the abuse of power by the government and other powerful entities. It helps uncover corruption, human rights abuses, and other wrongdoings, making it difficult for those in authority to act with impunity. Transparency and accountability. A free press promotes transparency in government operations and decision making process. It helps uncover hidden agendas, conflicts of interest, and other factors that may influence government actions. Diverse voices. India is a diverse country with a multiple of languages, cultures, and perspectives. A free press provides a platform for diverse voices and viewpoints, ensuring that the concern of various communities are heard. Protection of fundamental rights. A free press is a guardian of fundamental rights, including the right to freedom of expression and the right to know. It helps protect those rights by advocating for the rights of individuals and groups. International standing. India's reputation on the global stage is influenced by its commitment to press freedom. Upholding press freedom demonstrates a commitment to democratic values and human rights, enhancing India's standing in the international community. The institutions, which institution responsible for protecting press freedom in India? Press Council of India is a statutory body established under the Press Council of Act 1978. It acts as a watchdog to safeguard and promote press freedom and the ethical standards of journalism. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting is a government body responsible for formulating policy and guidelines related to the media sector in the country. News Broadcaster Association is a self-regulatory body representing the private television news and current affairs broadcasters in India. It formulates and enforces a code of ethics and standards for television news channels. Editors Guild of India. This is a voluntary association of editors of leading newspapers and news magazines in India. It plays a crucial role in defending press freedom and addressing issues related to the rights and responsibilities of journalists. Legal system. India's legal system, including the judiciary, play a significant role in upholding press freedom. Courts have the authority to address violations of press freedom, protest journalists, and interpret law related to media. In 1958, the Supreme Court in the Ramesh Thapar versus the State of Madras observed that freedom of the press lay at the foundation of all democratic organizations. International organizations such as the Reporters Without Borders and the Committee on to Protect Journalists monitor press freedom in India and raises awareness about violations on the global stage. Challenges associated with the press freedom in India. Legal and regulatory constraints. India has law that can be used to restrict press freedom, such as defamation law, sedition law, and laws related to national security. These laws are sometimes used to intimidate journalists and media organizations. Government interference. There have been instances of government interference in the editorial independence of media outlets. Governments may use advertising budget as a tool to reward or punish media organizations, which can influence their reporting. Threats and violence. Journalists in India often face physical threats and violence, especially when reporting on sensitive issues like corruption, organized crime, or communal tensions. Some journalists have been attacked or even killed in the line of duty. The numbers are quite large. Self-censorship. Due to fear of reprisal or pressure from various sources, journalists and media outlets may engage in self-censorship, avoiding certain topics or taking a cautious approach to reporting. Ownership of and control. Media ownership in India is often concentrated in the hands of few powerful entities, which can influence editorial decisions and limit the diversity of voices in the media landscape. Defamation lawsuit. Journalists and media organizations in India are frequently targeted with defamation lawsuits, which can be time consuming and financially burdensome, so that needs to be changed. Addressing the issue of press freedom in India will require a concerted efforts from various stakeholders with a shared commitment to upholding the principles of a free press in a democratic society. It is a complex challenge that needs continuous attention and action to ensure a vibrant and independent media environment in the country. Next topic is about IORA, Indian Ocean Rim Association. Sri Lanka will assume the leadership of the IORA during 23rd Council Ministers meeting, which is scheduled for October 11, 2023 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. It will preside over the association from 2023 until 2025. It will take in the presidency from Bangladesh, held the census chairmanship from November 2021 to November 2023. What are the IORA stands for? The vision of IORA arose during the visit to India by the then South African President Nelson Mandela in 1995, when he stated that the natural odds of the facts of history and geography should broaden itself to include the concept of an Indian Ocean Rim for socio-economic cooperation. It served as foundation for Indian Ocean Rim Initiative in March 1995 and the establishment of the Indian Ocean Rim Association, then known as the Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation, in March 1997. Members currently, IORA has 23 member states and 11 dialogue partners. Members Australia, Bangladesh, Comoros, France, India, Indonesia, Iran, Kenya, Madagascar, Malaysia, Maldives, Mauritius, Mozambique, Oman, Seychelles, Singapore, Somalia, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, Yemen are the members. And the dialogue partners includes China, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Germany, Italy, Japan, South Korea, Russia, Turkey, United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Okay, so initially the countries in the Indian Ocean are the member, but subsequently it has been expanded, and Secretariat is in Mauritius. Then the World Cotton Day 2023, in conjunction with the Cotton Corporation of India and the EU Resource Efficiency Initiative, the Minister of Textile recently conducted a seminar for World Cotton Day on 7th October 2023 that discussed best Okay, so about this, in conjunction with the Cotton Corporation of India and the EU Resource Efficiency Initiative, the Minister of Cotton Textile, Mr. Textile recently conducted a seminar on World Cotton Day. So the introduction of the bell identification and traceability system using blockchain technology resulted from the conference. It also resulted in the Kosturi Cotton Initiative, which promotes excellent cotton with traceability. What is the Bell Identification and Traceability System, BITS, and Kasturi Cotton Program? The BITS is a technology initiative in the cotton industry that utilizes blockchain technology to assign unique QR code to cotton bells. Cotton is weighted in bells. So BITS was introduced to ensure that key information about cotton bells, such as their quality, variety, origin, and processing details, is transparent and easily accessible to both domestic and international buyers. Traceability: by scanning the QR code, stakeholders including cotton buyers, textile manufacturers, and others can trace the entire journey of the cotton bells from its origin to the final product. Implementation: BITS is implemented by the Cotton Corporation of India in collaboration with other relevant stakeholders such as the state governments. Kasturi Cotton Program: the Kasturi Cotton Program is an initiative introduced by the Ministry of Textile in India to promote the production and availability of premium quality cotton with traceability. The Tex Pro Seal, in collaboration with the CCI on behalf of the Ministry of Textile, is overseeing the implementation of the program. Certified quality: Kasturi cotton is not just any cotton, it is certified to meet certain quality standards which may include fiber length, strength, color, and other characteristics that make it suitable for premium textile products. Okay, so this is the certification of better quality of cotton. Then Arunachal Pradesh gets GI tag for 3 products. Arunachal Pradesh recently obtained geographical indicator status for 3 products: Arunachal yak, churpi, that cow tie, kamat rice, and the sanga cloth. Arunachal yak churpi is made up of the milk of this Arunachal yak, a rare breed found largely in Arunachal Pradesh, West Kemang, and Tawang district. Tribal yak pastoralities: this milk is derived from the yak raised by the Brokpas, a tribal people noted for their yak husbandry abilities. These pastoralites migrate their yak seasonally, transporting them to a higher altitude in the summer and descending to mid-latitude mountainous region in the winter, because yak cannot survive at low altitude in the summer. Churpi is high in protein and serves as an important source of nutrition also for this vegetation depleted cold and steppe highland regions. The cow kamti rice. The cow tie is a chew stick rice variety grown by the traditional Kampati tribal farmers in the Namsai region. The textile Tangsa textile products made by the Tangsa tribe of the Jalgada area are famous for their unusual design and bright colors. This traditional workmanship displays the region's cultural diversity. Then the next topic is the USS Gerald R. Ford. Following a surprise attack on Israel by the Hamas terrorist group of Palestine, the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier, means aircraft carrier, strike group was dispatched to the eastern Mediterranean to support Israel. The USS Gerald R. Ford, a 18 billion nuclear power aircraft carrier, the United States Navy's newest and most modern aircraft carrier. The USS Gerald R. Ford is the world's largest warship. More than 4.5 Qutb Minars could fit on the deck of this USS Gerald R. Ford if measured lengthwise. A full load it displaces 1 lakh tons, which is roughly 4 times the weight of the steel used in the Howrah Bridge. At full load, the aircraft carrier INS Vikrant of India weighs 45,000 tons. The carrier size allows it to support up to 90 aircrafts. To conduct all operations on board the American carrier, a crew of over 4,500 personnel is needed, including those running the ship, those in the air wing, and other support staffs. For comparison, INS Vikrant operates a total of 36 aircraft carriers and is run by a crew of roughly 1,650 as compared to 4,500 the American ship. Despite its aircraft and onboard defense system, the Gerald are fought like aircraft carriers, always travels with the defensive cover of a carrier strike group. The aircraft carrier, which entered service in 2017, is named after famous US President Gerald R. Ford in office from 1974 to 1977. Then the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, during a recent PhD stakeholders conference in Hyderabad, the Pharmacopoeia Discussion Group (PGD) announced the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission as a PDG member. After 1 year of pilot phase, based on the IPC's involvement, contribution and future potential, the decisions on inclusion as permanent member of the PDG was taken. It is an autonomous institution of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. It is created to set standards of drug in the country. Function: its basic function is to update regularly the standard of drugs commonly required for treatment of diseases prevailing in this region. It publishes official documents for improving quality of medicines by way of adding new and updating existing monographs in the form of Indian Pharmacopoeia. It further promotes rational use of generic medicines by publishing National Formulae of India. It prescribes standards for identity, purity and strength of drugs essentially required from healthcare perspective of human beings and animals. It also provides IP reference substance which act as a fingerprint for identification of an article under test and its purity as prescribed in the IP. But the Indian Pharmacopoeia, these requirements are authoritative in character. They are enforced by regulatory bodies in India for the quality monitoring of medications. The IP requirements are legally acceptable during the quality assurance and in the event of a legal dispute. It is an official document designed to contribute to the overall quality and assurance of pharmaceutical products marketed in India by enhancing their safety, efficacy and cost. It contains a collection of authoritative drug analysis methodology and requirements. The IP or any portion of it has legal character under the second schedule of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and its rule 1945. Okay, so then the Lakpati Didi initiative, Prime Minister Modi recently chaired a high-level meeting to review the progress made in realizing his dream of making 2 crore Lakpati Didis in India. The Prime Minister announced it in his Independence Day speech on August 15, 2023. The goal is to inspire women to develop micro-enterprises in their communities. The government intends to teach 2 crore women through the Lakpati Didi initiative. The program aims to equip women in self-help groups to earn a sustainable income of at least 1 lakh per year per home. The Dindal Upadhyaya National Livelihood Mission initiated the initiative in which each SSG household is encouraged to engage in numerous livelihood activities in conjunction with value chains interventions resulting in a sustainable income of 1 lakh or more per year. Under this scheme, women will be trained in various skills such as plumbing, LED bulb making, drone operation and repair, and tailoring and weaving. After completing the training, women will be provided with opportunity to earn income using their skill. The Ministry of Rural Development is adopting a whole of government approach for maximum impact through convergence of transform the rural economy with the enabling of Lakpati Didis. Then the Mukundra Hill Tiger Reserve. The Forest Department started the inaugural jungle safari at the Mukundra Hill Tiger Reserve recently. The Mukundra Hill Tiger Reserve, popularly known as the Dhara Wildlife Sanctuary, spread across 4 districts: Bundi, Kota, Jalwar and Chittorgarh in Rajasthan. The park is situated in a valley formed by 2 parallel mountains, the Mukundra and the Gargola. The Tiger Reserve was constituted in the year 2030, which encompasses the area of the Mukundra National Park, Dara Sanctuary, Jawahar Sagar Sanctuary and the part of the Chambal Sanctuary also. It is once a hunting preserve belonging to the Maharaja Kota. The important fauna includes leopard, sloth bear, nilgai, chinkara, spotted deer, small Indian civet, tawny cat, jackal, hyena, jungle cat, common langur, etc. The common reptiles and amphibians are the pythons, rat snakes, buffet type, killbacks, green killback, crocodiles, gharial, otter, and the tortoise. Then come to the question. A unique form of temple architecture developed on the Himalaya in North India states elucidated. Most of the architectural elements that survive from the ancient and medieval India are religious in nature. In different parts of the country, the distinct architectural style of temple are the result of geographical ethics and historical diversities. Two broad orders of temples in the country are known as Nagara in the north and Dravida in the south. At times, the Vesara style of temple is also found as an independent style created through the selective mixing of the Nagara and the Dravida orders. Then the Gandhara influence, a unique form of architecture developed in the hills of Kumaon, Garhwal, Himachal and Kashmir. Kashmir's proximity to the prominent Gandhara sites such as Taxila, Peshawar and the northwest frontier lend the region a strong Gandhara influence by the 5th century. Influence of the Gupta and post-Gupta traditions that were brought to it from the Sarnath, Mathura and even centers in the Gujarat and Bengal. The images of the Mahishasura Mardini and the Narasimha at the Lakhan Devi Mandir are evidence of the influence of the post-Gupta tradition. Both the images show the influence of the metal sculpture tradition of Kashmir. The hill also had their own tradition of wooden building and which depicts the roofs, pitch roofs. At several places in the hill, while the main Garbhagriha and the Shikara are made in the Rekha Prasad or Latina style, the Mandapam is of an older form of the wooden architecture. Sometimes the temple itself takes a pagoda shape. One of the most important temples in the Pandentran built during the 8th and the 9th centuries, in keeping with the tradition of water tank attached to the shrine, the temple is built on the plinth built in the middle of a tank. This temple is a Hindu one, possibly dedicated to Shiva. The architecture of this temple is in keeping with the age-old Kashmiri tradition of wooden building. Due to the snowy conditions in Kashmir, the roof is peaked and slanted slowly outward in hill temples. The temple is moderately ornamented, moving away from the post-Gupta aesthetics of heavy carving. However, of temples in the Kumaon, the one at Jogeshwar in Almora and Champavat near the Pithogarh are classic example of Nagara architecture in the region. Thus, both the Buddhist and the Hindu traditions intermingled and spread in the hills, and that led to the unique style of architecture in the region. Then coming to the MCQs, what are the white goods in the context of consumer durables? They are the large home appliances like refrigerator, television, micro ovens are called as white goods. So answer will be B. Consider the following statement of the Gaza Strip. It is situated in the Red Sea eastern coast. It has borders Israel and Egypt. Around it is the smallest of the two Palestinian territory, with the West Bank being the larger. So here only two are correct. So because this one two is incorrect, so only two are correct. Mukundra Hill Tiger Reserve is in Rajasthan. Which one of the following service provided to the Telemanas? Telemanas provides for mental health counseling. A. With reference to the Dhole, Queen Ampuin, consider the following statement. Dhole is a primarily herbivorous. The Ayushyan states of Dhole is critically endangered. Indian government sanctioned its first Dhole Conservation Breeding Center in Visakhapatnam. Out of this, only one is correct. That is one. With reference to International Coral Reef Initiative, as the following statement, it is a global partnership between the nations and organizations that strives to preserve coral reefs and related ecosystem around the world. So question number 6, that is right. India has played a pivotal role in funding the member of this initiative. Okay, only one is right. Regard the geographical indicator tab. Geographical indicator are recognized as part of the intellectual property rights under the Paris Convention and Trade-related aspect of intellectual property rights agreement, TRIPS agreement. India is a World Trade Organization member, implemented the geographical indication of goods and Act 1999. Arunachal Pradesh has recently received the geographical indication for Arunachal Act Chupri, Kavatai and the Ramsar textile. So for question number 7, 1, 2, 3, all are correct. Consider the following statement regarding the Lakpati Didi initiative. Its goal is to inspire women to develop micro enterprises in their communities, right? The Minister of Rural Development is in charge of implementing it. So here both 1 and 2 are correct. Which one of the following best describe the Atlantic puffin? So Atlantic puffin is the smallest seabird. Consider the following statement regarding the Baiga tribes. They perform Bewar, a type of shifting farming. So they are particularly vulnerable tribal groups in Karnataka. Only one is correct. So thank you for watching. Keep watching regularly to update yourself on the developments.